I'd like to welcome Kathy Simpson, who's the VP Public Sector for T4G Limited, and she's also lead for Tech Impact for this NB Plus that she's going to be talking about. A very exciting new initiative. NB Plus est un projet qui me tient personnellement à cœur. C'est un projet qui est issu de la stratégie du gouvernement du Nouveau-Brunswick qui vise à créer une province intelligente. Ça regroupe maintenant des partenaires de l'ensemble du gouvernement ainsi que du secteur privé, plus d'une dizaine. We're very fortunate to have Kathy at the helm of NB+. Kathy Simpson is an IT leader who has dedicated her career to building the region's tech capacity. Kathy est la vice-présidente responsable du secteur public de T4G Limited. Et son travail porte sur des projets de mise en œuvre de technologie et de l'innovation pour bâtir notre économie, pour créer une collectivité plus prospère et mobiliser nos citoyens. Kathy is also chair of the New Brunswick Innovation Foundation, which most of us would know in this room. And she is also one of the co-founders of Propel ICT, one of the key accelerators we have here in New Brunswick. She's also a graduate of the FC Manning School of Business at Acadia and lives in Rothsay, New Brunswick. Kathy will tell you about this innovative partnership between government and the private sector that we mentioned so many times today and in the media this morning. Then, if time permits, she will take a few questions. So without further ado, Kathy, please come on stage.
Thanks for eating quickly. Sorry to have caused you to have to eat so quickly. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to talk about the topic. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I moved here in 1990, and it was for 2 years. I am a Newfoundlander by birth, and my dad worked for an overseas telephone company, and my mom and dad are both Newfoundlanders. All their family lived in Newfoundland. And they got the choice to pick Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, or Sheet Harbor, Nova Scotia, a town of 1,000. Where do you think I grew up? And did all my school there, went to Acadia University, got my business degree, had a job offer from NBTEL, and couldn't wait. My offer was in the internal audit department, so it tells you how much I wanted to work for the phone company. That was a short assignment, thankfully, and I ended up spending 13 years at the phone company. So I think my journey across Canada has ended on the borders of New Brunswick, and I've been here 25 years, so this really is my home. So I'm incredibly excited to talk about the initiative we've got underway. This is the old face of government back in the day when the people who were in the government were those who were aristocrats. They were educated because they had access to books. And if you had access to books, then you were a learned individual. Interestingly enough, this is the new face of government for us in Canada. It's been an exciting wave the last couple of months. And it's going to be incredibly interesting to see where we go from here. What I've learned in the space of innovation in the 25 years that I've spent at NBTEL and now at T4G is change takes a tremendous amount of courage. And what I would say over the past 2 days is I've heard nothing but incredibly courageous people talk about the kinds of things we need to do differently here in our province. Often courage and change starts at the top. And this is an iconic symbol that we would all understand to be a type of change that we understand because it's a symbol of the free world. I'm going to talk now on a couple of slides. Actually, I'm going to change my mic because it's driving me crazy. I can't because I feel like I'm speaking to the right. Yeah. Like we thought might happen. Yeah. I'm going to talk about a couple of interesting things of why I think NB Plus is at a really pivotal time in our province. There's been some neat, interesting roles that have been taking place in government. This is one gentleman. His name is DJ Patel. Some of you may know him from PayPal and from Twitter and from LinkedIn. He's now the chief data scientist for the US government hired by the White House. Jason Goldman's the chief digital officer for the US government, another Twitter guy. And what's interesting about some of the roles that the US government have been creating, and our speaker after me, she's going to speak a whole lot more about this, is that they're bringing in people who have been instrumental in creating online communities globally. So it's not because they have tech expertise, it's because they have become exceptionally talented at having these global communities online. My favorite, probably because she's a woman, is this lady, Rachel Hout. She's the chief digital officer for New York City and now the state of New York. What I find incredibly interesting about her story and how I think it relates to New Brunswick is when she developed, along with an incredible team, the roadmap for New York City, it wasn't just about bringing the government online. It was about how are we increasing education and awareness of tech and the tech sector in kids? How are we getting tech tools out to every piece of New York City? How are we creating a thriving tech industry in New York City? And yes, how are we getting more digital services online? So it's interesting to look at some of these cities, and there's some great ones in Canada as well, and states to understand the path and the journey they took. If you think about Web 2.0, you think about all of the technology tools that we have. I think about this slide. I think about partnering. I think about sharing. I think about nurturing relationships and community. We need to do that in government. And there's been such an interesting array of dialogue. But I think the tech tools today are there like they've never been before, that are in the hands of citizens who are ready and able to use them. This is also a picture of millennials who want to be engaged. There are so many active Twitter users here today from that type of community, and we need to embrace that as we look forward. And this is the face of New Brunswick. When we were working on NB+, I don't know if David Alston's still in the room, but we were doing a branding exercise, and we were talking about who's the target audience for NB+. And I said, I don't know, like 40-year-olds? And David goes, Kathy, you're 47. Okay, no, let's say like 55 and under. We have to remember that back in 1990, when we were working on self-service at the phone company, and when the government of New Brunswick were working on your digital services, technology was not being used by all of the demographics that it's being used with today. 2 weekends ago, I was at a Ladies Learning Code weekend with my 8-year-old daughter. I have an 18-year-old daughter and a 20-year-old son, and I have an 8-year-old. And we were in a jam-packed space at ConnectionWorks in St. John, and we were learning how to code. So I thought, this is going to be an interesting day. Halfway through the day, my 8-year-old said, Mom, you're really not very good at this. But you know what? She's built 3 or 4 websites since at home using her PC. It is that simple, and that is the age. So when we think about mobile, and Dr. Roy, I believe his last name, has presented this morning, that is the tool that people are using and we need to be thinking about. The opportunity is now, and it requires tremendous collaboration and courage between the private sector and the public sector, and with citizens. And citizens are demanding more. I think all of us understand that and are very aware of that. So we need to put the tools in their hands. And I think our partnership with NB+ is going to do that. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And we're in it for the long run. And we're in it because the same reason I thought I was going to stay 2 years to get a great company in my belt and stayed 25 years is because we believe that our province can be better. So the partnership is between Tech Impact and the government of New Brunswick. Tech Impact is the tech organization formerly known as NBITC. There are 20-odd companies, part of Tech Impact, who meet regularly to think and work on and collaborate, engage, and talk about how are we growing our technology sector. It is a key pivotal point of our digital society strategy. So what's our vision? We want to empower citizens. We want to give them a platform where government is seen as an enabler. Jeff talked about that this morning. We want to also deliver amazing government services because the bar that they're comparing you to are to leading retailers and other services providers that are global in nature. So this is our brand. It's not meant to look too tech, but it certainly has a tech feel to it. It's called NB+. What we want you to think about when you see that brand is you're living in this amazing province, plus getting a tremendous opportunity because of the delivery of services and the economy that we're trying to grow here digitally. You're living in a safe province, one that is socially minded, plus your children are getting a great education, and they're going to have a tremendous opportunity in this space. So at a time when we often feel like there's so much pressure from government to be squeezing, and yeah, that is the reality. We need to do more with less. We want you to think about the abundance of what we're trying to build in our province. So our tag is a digital shift to a better New Brunswick. Here's how we're getting started. We're creating a digital lab. This lab is focused on the public sector. We believe there are tremendous opportunities for innovation in this space. And we want anyone and everyone who has an idea to come forward. So it's not just the startup community who have ideas. It is absolutely government departments today. It is absolutely tech companies who are out there. And we already have, there's a public sector startup accelerator program in Montreal, and we've already had a call with them, and their companies want to come to New Brunswick. So there is an incredible opportunity for us. So we're building a team. The partnership is going to be composed of having these teams that are made up of tech impact companies and the government of New Brunswick companies. So for example, Jeff Flood, who's my boss, I am spending 90% of my time now on NB+. It's what I'm doing, what I'm being paid by T4G to do. We have other companies doing the same. Those include EY, Cisco are coming on board, Innovation are coming on board, and Medivie Blue Cross are coming on board. The types of resources that they're bringing to the table are architects, business analysts, project managers, or business owners for the lab. Our goal is to build new services, and our goal is to accelerate the delivery of new services out to New Brunswickers. The second piece is open data. Yesterday, we spent a lot of time talking about open data, and we're incredibly excited about this because open data is our invitation for each and every one of you to get engaged in New Brunswick. So we'll be developing an open data policy. We'll be developing the processes by which we're going to be opening and releasing more data. There's been a tremendous amount of work already done in the province, and we've got some of the people in the room today who've done that work, and we're going to be accelerating that in a major way. We believe innovation comes from open data, and we've had speakers the last 2 days talk about that. Here's our website. It's out there. You can follow us at NB+. And we will be telling the stories of the digital community that we're building. So we won't be just telling the stories of a great app that we're going to be producing, but we want to be telling the stories of the amazing things that Brilliant Labs are doing. And we want to be talking about security and privacy so people can understand the direction that we're going and feel secure and safe in what we're doing. So it is a digital shift to a better New Brunswick, and we're pretty excited about it. Vending machine. Why does she have a vending machine? When some people would say you put in your taxes into the vending machine and out comes a whole bunch of services. I don't believe any of us in that room feel that that's the model that we belong in and want to be a part of. I believe this is a tremendous opportunity that we've been given to create change. And we need to create that roadmap. We don't know what that looks like yet, but we certainly know we need to get involvement of everyone here in the room. And we certainly know we need a digital framework. And we certainly know we need data. And we certainly know we need collaboration in order to make that happen. So what we will be doing over the next number of months is creating that roadmap, getting our lab up and running so we can bring in your ideas, we can help you test them, and we can get those out to New Brunswickers and beyond. So it takes some thinking outside the box, obviously, to make this happen. A bunch of men and women got on a plane nearly 3 years ago now, went on a trip to Estonia, got inspired, came back and said, we can do better. And not only because we want to deliver better services to government, but because we want a thriving digital economy here in New Brunswick. This is our step, our partnership, and our collaboration to make that happen. 25 years I've been here. I've never been more energized about the province. I've got a son and a daughter who are off in university that both want to come back and work here. And I think there are tremendous opportunities in our space. So I hope you will look at our website, see what kinds of things that we're up to, find us there. If you have data sets that you're interested in, let us know so that we can start to research how we get those to you, if that's possible. Hopefully it is. As well, if you have an idea of how you want to collaborate with us, let us know. There's a spot for you to do that on the site, and our door is open for business. Thanks very much.
Yes, thank you, Kathy, for sharing this news. It's exciting. I'm glad to be part of it, and certainly I think we have the right person leading it.